So, yeah, apologies for the delay, but at least now we should have proper audio. So the first thing is there seems to be some confusion about some of the problems in the homework. This should be resolved within the next 24 hours. If you encounter a problem where you need to prove a property and it turns out the property is wrong, first of all, I apologize for that. Secondly, it is perfectly okay then to prove that this property is wrong in your proof that is correct. So, and for that you'll also get, the 4 points. So that's the first part. That's it. These things shall be fixed within the next 24 hours. Yeah, this was not our right problem. Okay, it shall not happen. Good. Now, are there any questions with regard to the previous class? You can always come to the office hours, so one question each, and the TA is also at office hours. I'm occasionally not here this week, but usually I'm here on Tuesday. So, well, if everything's clear, everybody's happy with this, and all questions are resolved, okay, then let's get right to it. So let's start with the simplest term. And so basically we'll start with just simple heavy learning algorithms, a little bit of biology, and don't worry, it will be the only biology you'll see and you will need it. And by the way, there's also some confusion about the color code. So I picked red as the default slide color for the header, and that's just because, well, Carnegie Mellon's logo is red, so I just picked it to match. Yellow is the more important stuff, green is the really important stuff. So it doesn't mean that you're not going to get asked questions about the red stuff in the exam. But it's just as a visual aid for you to think about the green things as the ones you really need to understand. And the red things being for the general stuff that I'm teaching. So basically, if 2 years down the line people ask you about the green stuff, you should remember it. 2 years down the line people ask you about the red stuff, and you should know it. Doesn't mean that you won't get asked the questions about the red things. Okay, so let's start with perception. So this is Frank Rosenblatt, and he was one of the people who worked on this. I think it was probably a PhD at that time. But that's a current of PhD to where and work. Yeah, and so yes, it's graded. So just for your amusement, this is how people used to think that the brain works. The American Phrenological Society, 1848. And, well, they thought that, those various were responsible for various parts of the brain. And actually, it's not utterly wrong. There are visual cortex and so on that mainly takes care of the. So, but I think we've come a long way on this. So, the only thing, and this is based, and the reason why I'm talking about it is a little bit because, first of all, neural networks are getting kind of popular again. And also, a lot of machine learning arose from neural networks and related things. So, it's at least good to know the history of that. So, the basic idea is good behavior should be ordered than bad behavior on it. And, well, that overall makes it good. And so, for instance, it's probably good for you to kill that saber-toothed tiger, and it's not good to you. And one thing is that correlation, even though correlation and causation are obviously not the same thing, that, you want to learn correlation. And for many practical tasks, you don't necessarily know the cause of it. You just know that something will show up right in the morning. You don't need to understand how that works in order to make it work. Kind of that is so the training mechanisms that we have in the institution are, to some extent, you hard encode things that's a lot of insects, or also animals with smaller brain do a lot of this. So it's hard coded. Therefore, we don't have to train things, but anything about training certain flies or just knows how to fly like. It's all very hardwired. Cortex of the or basically the ganglia in the fly, it'll look very much like a human fly. It's very, very big. It's a very hard coded so the fly does what flies have to do well. Humans, thanks to this, are hard coded, and so they can actually learn and adapt. And that does take learning by machine learning. Like classic machine learning, I would say that, but the brain will be able to think about machine learning. I hope that will help you with this well, doing a bit of fusion. So, how do neurons work? So, I mean, the obvious thing is, the cell body is chromosoma. Just kind of useful if you know those words, or you can express the biology partner. So, that's the cell body that combines all the signals it does deliver. So, think of it like you then try, let's say, the input the signal from, and there's a synapse that's actually where two neurons interface, and there are actually weights on those synapses that tell you how much to look at the incoming signal. Then there's an axis which is usually fairly long, and it transports the signal somewhere else. And some of those axes can be quite long, so you have spine, you can easily be really got long cells. Nice information around it. It's the imagination goes fast and something like problems with your brain, but that's basically how they work. So let's look at another picture of how they work. So basically, we have those X1, we have some synaptic weights called the cell chain, and they all are combined in the cell body. Some flip all up to trivial things, and then it produces some output. Right? So that's the neuron. Now, so actually what we really have is we have weighted linear combination of those drums. Then quite often we have a non-linear division of them, like the sigma here, that side. And this actually quite often has and that's just added. What's the basic? So all that happens with learning is that you want to get from. Now you think it was simple. However, there's actually a large number of deployed systems on the internet side which ask you, or for instance, whether for email, spam, that are glorified versions of this function. It's some linear weight combination of versions. So then that's something that's so if you can do that with a scale of these hundreds of millions of objects, you actually have a pretty good. Okay. What I'm going to show you today is how to do it. And you actually already have a really good algorithm for dealing with amount of data for the first sample tree. Take a look at an apple scoring, optical character recognition, or you want to take out origin for determining what the probability is that something will be. Any questions at this point? So here's ham. Easy. And basically all I'm interested in is one of those linear separations. I'm not necessarily particularly clear about which one, but I want to have one of those that separates out. And so the question is how can I get that efficiently? And that's exactly what the Perceptron algorithm is. This is one of the oldest machine learning algorithms. You initialize obviously after all remember and then you just run the order through the data. Well, you use the output to W the export for that field solution. And then you check whether that time, the label, which is 1 or minus 1, is less equal. So that's the case when you've made a mistake. It means that the sign of the output, not the label, is different. That's the only case when it can be negative. Right? And when that happens, what I do is I simply add the observation time to the label to my weight vector. And I do the same thing for the opposite. Two lines matter, so you want to do it at scale, you can more than 2 lines, but this is conceptually about the system. It just goes for your data. You keep on doing that until everything is classified correctly, and for the moment, let's assume that things are actually perfect. So there's a couple of things that we notice. First of all, nothing ever happens if we don't make a mistake. If we get correct, well, okay, that's good, let's move on. The other thing is that's going to be really reduced later on is that the weight vector here is a linear combination of our equations. That's very handy. And because later on these will actually be rather funny terms. And then finally, as the classifier itself, of course, if I have this expansion here, I can plug it in here, and I get this linear expansion. So, in other words, if we have f(x) equals what is plus, right, and we have this term here, and we will make some then it follows that f(x) can be written as the product between sum over I, yi, and then I just pull these terms out. So I can write it as sum I, yi. I know this is kind of simple and boring, but this means, which you saw right now, will later on lead to a fairly well-known called the incentive theorem. This will give us what's called a current expansion. So this is super important. The other thing that's really important to know, is the convergence theorem for Perceptron. And it basically goes as follows. It says, well, if there exists some solution W star B star, I'm assuming that it has unit. By the way, can somebody tell me why I can, without less logic reality, always assume that W star B star has bounded? Can somebody tell me why I can always assume? Anybody? Let's have a look at geometry. And here we have right? And all I'm interested in is just the sign of this constant, right? So if I'm just interested in whether this is related to 0, I can multiply it with some gamma. Right. And it's also still true, provided that this right here is correct. So more specifically, I can actually go and pick for an object W star B star that actually satisfies this. I can go and, well, normalize it. So I could, for instance, pick up gamma 1 over the norm W squared. And if I do that, you can immediately see that this gives me a W star and B star that jointly have the link. So this is why there's absolutely no loss in general if I restrict my W star and B star. So that makes life pretty easy to classification. The regression, unfortunately, is not going to be quite that trivial, but I think the classification for right now. In any case, so here's what we get. So it says that if we have some linear separation, which separates the data not just by the skin of its teeth, but with some margin both. In other words, f of x is times y is always greater or equal than some rho. Then the perceptron will converge to a linear separator after a number of steps that are bounded by, well, v squared plus 1, r squared plus 2, divided by rho squared. And here I'm assuming that all the xi's have linked to this. And again, that's not the in principle description, because I can almost bring them in that space. So what you can see is that if that margin of separation is too small, I need a lot of data. I need a lot of data. If it's really large, then I need very few. Does somebody have an idea what an upper bound on this road would be? If I'm assuming that the xi's lie in a uniform, so xi is equivalent 1, and I've assumed that the w star and b star are linked. What's the largest value growth in everything? 1. Why? Well, correct, because you have an inner product between two terms. Each of those two terms has bound norm bound y1. And so therefore by Cauchy-Schwarz, the inner product can also be only and has to be bounded by. That's the reason why that's recorded. So we can see that, well, essentially I need at least, one observation to know which way to go, otherwise it's bound. But what you can also see is that, this road here can be quite small. You can probably see it. Or for instance, it's not large. So that is quite a nice natural scale of the problem. And it does not depend on the dimensionality. It just depends on the geometry. Okay. So now let's prove this. It's going to be the first slightly more mathematical part of the class. So hang on tight. It's a simple proof, but it's an important one. And essentially, so this proof you can all recall, and it essentially it has two parts. The one thing that we're going to do is we're going to bound, lower bound, how much our parameter vector, wi, vi, so this is what I have the observing error I, is going to be aligned with the, separation. I'm going to bound that from the secondly, I'm going to bound both of the length of wi and vi from above. And then by applying Cauchy-Schwarz, since I have a lower and an upper bound, what I'll have to get is that at some point those two bounds will contradict each other. And I therefore then know that at this point, I must have, at this point, I must be done with my update. Because at this point, well, there cannot be any more updates, otherwise I have an incomplete. So, let's start with bounding the alignment property. Well, if we make an error, well, what we get is that wj bj plus 1 plus w star b star. And of course, I can write it as a sum between the previous term and here, and then our update. So I can then just go and rearrange terms as the original product. And here's the update. Now I know that there has to be a large margin separated by this. I know that. So I know that this term here is greater or equal than both. Now this term here, well, that's whatever I have. So by iterating this inequality, and using that w1 equals 0, v1 is 0, so I know that this term here is 0 for j equals 1. I get that this entire term is greater or equal than j times. In other words, my alignment increases, at least linearly, with the number of mistakes there. Right? So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get an upper bound. So we know that in the product that we just bounded from below, bounded from above by this term. That's just what it's worth. So if I now can upper bound the norm by parameter vector, I get something that gets I times up. So we now take bound the upper norm. That's the norm of wj. Well, it's an expansion, right? So wj plus compj plus 1 again vj plus yi xi. Remember, I and j are different indexes. I indexes how many observations I've seen so far. J indexes how many mistakes. So I could have gone on for 100 observations and not make a single mistake, and J would not make it. So for the perceptron, in other words, it's really useful to make all the mistakes. Anyway, here's the upper bound. Okay, so this is the old norm. This is and this is the term where we know that we made a mistake, right? So we know that this is less equal to this. Otherwise, that's just x not w. Okay, so therefore, less equal then refers to the third term. And we know that this term here is bounded by r squared plus 1. With the xi line by 4. So in other words, I get this beginning. That's for the squared limit. Okay. So now all I have to do is I just combine step 1 with step 2. So I get j times 12. This equals the integral square of 1 plus r squared norm j plus 1. And here I get basically now square root j. So on the left hand side, I have something that grows linearly into j. On the right hand side, I have something that grows like the square root. So in other words, this term can by no means ever grow as rapidly here, even though it might have gotten hit to a large degree. And so it was totally equal, and we solve for j. And that gives us that j equals this term here tells us who the algorithm is. Any questions? Because what we have is LP1 and P1. Otherwise, so if I done the computer science thing of the start node is 0, then it would be basically at you have the first the other question. Yep. Correct. So the question was steps, basically instances where the mistake and absolute mistake. So that's why the Perceptron, it pays off if you make all the mistakes really early on, and then after that it's fine. And so there are actually algorithms that on the line of active learning, which reorder your observations in such a way that you're most likely to make mistakes. So this is a little bit like, in a class, as you go along, it would be kind of useful if all the things that you're not clear about, you learn really quickly, such that then afterwards you're clear about everything all the time. It'd be kind of cool if I lull you into thinking that everything is clear and you understand everything until the very last lecture. In the last lecture I throw all the math into it. And yes, okay, sure, in theory you really know everything, but in practice you'll have a very difficult time. And so there are actually a lot of Perceptron-like training algorithms which try to hone in on the difficult things reasonably also. And you can argue, well, you show the most difficult things at the beginning, and there are various ways how actually most of them are completely heuristic for dealing with it, but that's basically all the thing. So the nice thing is that if things are nice and reciprocal, this algorithm converges very rapidly, and why not just use it in practice? And for that example that I showed you before, in the first lecture about name black and white, I got an example of a car, taking time to road with the cow, but that's how the wolf like the pose, that's how the wolf is being nice. Anyway, the point is, it's basically trained based on behavior. And the big fatal mistake that the game developers make is to assume that, people's behavior is nice and inseparable in whichever space they operate. And unfortunately it wasn't. And so what actually happens is that if you keep on running with different algorithms as they did, so they use exactly the equations that they put before, this thing will fail to noise data. In other words, in general, do not use the Perceptron algorithm to unchain unless you can be absolutely sure that the data is literally separable, you will not see any mistakes whatsoever, and that actually your problem is well done. In other words, do not add it. Yes? That comes in about 10 slides from now. The nonlinear boundary. Yes. We'll get to that. And we'll actually get to it in steps. First we'll look at the Perceptron features, and then we'll look at the kernel Perceptron. I will show you what to do in the context of errors later on, so that will be probably next week. And the idea is basically to cut the information to slack if you don't use some information purposes. But we'll get to it. So that'll be basically the part. Then do not use this algorithm unless you have a really good reason to believe it was fit. Otherwise, let me give you two examples of problems that are hard or easy. So in both cases, the data is nice and define smaller balls, but I think most of you would agree that this is a much harder problem than there. I have a lot of choices on how you play it, right? But there I have to narrow margins. So it'll take me a long time until I get it specified. Incidentally, both data sets are actually the same. All I did is just switch the data, and I, switched in one dimension and I split it. So what this also should tell you is that quite often making a complete talk is a matter of difference in your data. If difference in your data is situated in learning from easy, what you should first of all do is I think you're creating it. And secondly, this may very well be then the secret sauce that a lot of engineers have in applying them out in practice. In the European industry, quite often communities use algorithms that are totally basic by modern machine learning standards, and they still work fairly well. And a lot of the reasons why they do this is because they've been actually tweaked to make the code easy for the algorithm, and a lot of human engineering knowledge is gone into transforming the code from the hard. And I'll tell you a nice example about this. So let's actually see how this algorithm works in practice. All the way out there. Let's have a look at separation. And, well, I'm just going to show you whenever an update happens. First update, graph. Second update, always around. Third update, well, kind of right. Fourth update, fifth update, well, and so on. But what you see is that, eventually, between the last update, you found a big around that one. But you can expect the solution to vary quite well. There's absolutely no reason why the error that any particular solution has, any grammar, would strictly monotonically improve. You would expect that, on average, people are improving, but there's no guarantee that this extra observation is actually going to make it better. Especially at the beginning, it might actually make it worse many times. So, this is an important warning, because sometimes if you try those out and try to plug them, you'll find that, while things are actually always improving, and it makes the algorithm. So, this will lead us to some extent to nonlinear separation, but some questions for let's look at concept first. This is actually an important thing. So, think about it. One of the reasons why black and white failed miserably was because there was probably no nice linear separation for good evil things for the other. And that may have been actually a huge mistake. Either because players are very inconsistent, and that's obviously true practice, especially when they were quite sure it's not united. But the other thing is that maybe the graphic space wasn't very neat. I mean, you can get the simple thing with spam, right? So with some emails, you think, oh, it's really spam, it's just annoying email, and you're not quite sure it's secret spam. A lot of users don't say for email spam. You can actually put in whether they thought it. The other thing is, sometimes you just don't have what you need. And I'm just trying to illustrate that a little bit. So, I mean, the goal is here to separate the straight line from the blue line. If I have, linear functions, this is just right. However, if I give you circles to separate the red from the blue, you're going to fail regardless of what. So you're always going to get into situations where there are some rates of error. You can maybe find a little error separated with blue, but it's not going to be very good. No matter how much data I give you, even though it would be separated in some space, they will separate in the space of circles. Now, the thing that you don't know is whether you're in the situation of triangles and circles, or in the third case, where basically the data is very noisy along the boundary, where you simply cannot separate. Now, of course, if you look at it, you'll say, well, yeah, it's kind of obvious, well, you can live with circles and triangles, but in general, it's very high dimensional data. You can't do it quite that way. It's just really hard to visualize that. And there are plenty of stories where basically some very good engineers came along and said, well, let's add this feature, and all of a sudden, everything works. So you'll see that kind of stories happen a lot in the industry, where basically, over time, people come up with amazingly innovative features, and sometimes they really nail it. A few things you can do, though, is if, for instance, you import the data and your error as opposed to the lead. However, this is exactly where the non-parametric comes. So, there you are seeing up what you're going to talk about that at some point. But essentially, the property of the non-parametric estimator is that provided you get plenty of data, you're going to get a reasonable solution to the problem. With the surface was that at some point, well, we have plenty of data to get any surface as wanted, but our function path didn't get any richer. So it had a certain limit on the complexity that it could do. You basically want to make sure that yes, you can control the complexity of the function path, but also that it's input data. The function path can grow complexity. Otherwise, you get to a situation where you have to do pretty well. That the user interacts more and more and more, it's just plateaus very quickly. Okay. So this is just as an indicator. Any questions? So even though this is a very simple thing, it's important to keep that picture in mind when you're solving the question. Any questions? Yep. Okay. So the convergence space is the set of functions that the algorithm has to present this solution to solve a risk classification. This would be, the space of separation. And sometimes people also talk about concept class, and that depends on the case. In some cases, the convergence space has a nice geometric form where, then you're basically cutting off sets from some context of logic. And that's usually the context in which people use the that's it. So for the rest of this class, formal definition probably will not help you very much. So let's look at a simple example, right? Numerical. So let's take the XOR, and you can clearly see there is no line that separates all of the rest. The nonlinear separation, of course, is trivial. All I need to do is I just need to add a third axis, and then this would mean the green lies off the blue, and then the red lies off, right? So easy. And so this is one result that we can have representation with error linear separation part. This basically is skilled neural network. after that, for a long time, people just get grants because they of course are, you know, why bother working on linear nonlinear separators. The thing to bear in mind is that they prove that finding the error. There's a lot of follow-up results and private history, department results from the line. And so when you see hardness results, always look at the conditions of the system. They sometimes sound thoroughly impressive. They are sometimes really thoroughly impressive in art proof. But that doesn't mean that the problem is necessarily possible. It means that if you ask questions the way they ask for the hardest result, it's really hard. And in many cases, a very small subtle modification of the problem can give you something that can solve very easily in the result. Sometimes linear. So this is a big red flag warning. Whenever you see a hardness result, look at the conditions of the system. In some cases, yeah, okay, here's a fun, there's nothing. But in many cases, there are approximations, or slight constraints. Or there are approximate algorithms that will give you your optimal result. So that's probably the only thing you should think of. Nonlinearity in features. So we're going to get back to the issue of, well, you know, what if we have nonlinear features? So remember regression, right? So here is you know, the data, we, you know, some monomials, we want to in, and we look at regression function. And we can do exactly the same thing, right? We map the data, we spread the map, x to 5x. We solve the problem. And then whenever we add an x or x prime before the product, we just replace that. And so one of the nice things that happens is that before, remember, we have this linear expansion thing, right? So this was what we had to do. So all we have to do is just replace xi by phi of x. And then, so this is the only difference to running the Perceptron in the original. We just replace all the xi with phi. As simple as that. Well, it's as simple as that in hindsight. It took people probably 1 or 2 decades until they wrote the paper which did exactly what we replaced. So don't underestimate the conceptual difficulty to have that. But once you have it, it's difficult. Let me show you an example. Say I want to separate circuits from the process. Then what I can do is I can simply go and map it into a 3D space where I now have x1, x2, then x1, x2. We all know that you can write circuits that deploy travelers as quadratic form. Exactly. So now in that space, quadratic terms, I can get all those nice things in the curve as separated. So that's first feature. People did that for a long time. That was actually quite possible. Let's kind of see it. Let me show you another example. So this is the extreme distribution of the arc. I can just define the going and the amount of people. And R code it accordingly, and that will give me the R system. Actually use the idolatry to control stuff like that. It basically just has a feature maker, the LEDs that are on in a 7 LED display. which is one of the listeners. So, examples you might see. So, if you get an email, well, you get some text here. Actually, get the text. That's just get all the text. So this is all junk that you get that your mail client will typically not show you. And all this junk is actually kind of used to tell you in the email what they decide to through which network the site is. So that gives you for a bag of words, pairs of words, date and time, the entire recipient path, how it was sent to the you have key numbers through the centuries, encoding, links are in there, and a lot of other things. Let me tell you one story about spam. There's something that actually happens. So when you get the spam email, quite often it has some payload in it, right? That payload might be a link. Like click here for some bad financial investment or you can do for your computer, right? And those links, I mean, they're kind of easy to take them there, right? All you have to do is follow that link to the right of Yahoo or Google or anybody else. Follow that link, scroll whatever's on the page, and just become based on that with an email. You can do that. Yep. Yes. Brilliant. Brilliant. So the question was, couldn't I just show different content depending on whether, the request is coming from, an IP block that, let's say, Google owns versus an IP block that, well, the average user. Yes, you can do that. And as a matter of fact, that was the first countermeasure of spam. Okay, so that died, but not quite. Because, of course, there are ways how you can scroll pages from IP numbers and the spammer still know. Okay, so that kind of, weeded out some spammers, but, at some point, well, it's working again by just, playing with various IP numbers. But then the spammers still found a way around it. Does anybody have an idea of what they do? So they couldn't use the IP number. Right, you can fake that. That's very easy because there are so many mail clients who fake all the agents. So what happens is a lot of those spam get sent sometimes, they say and people will read their emails in the morning. So spam filter will scroll the page at the time when the mail is received. Performance. When you want to get the mail, you cross it, you query the stuff, so in other words, at 4 a.m. in the morning when the spam was off, this actually showed a perfectly innocuous page of those videos. At 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., it showed some really nasty stuff. So this is how the spam is going around. What you can see from that is it's a constant arms race between very clever engineers on either side. Those spammers are very good. They're brilliant. Right? So all the stupid ones just get weeded out of it. So they're actually very talented people. Yeah. And that's why not all the features that go into spam filtering can be cut. Because as soon as them, they will take something. Hearing, so the exciting part spiral, you would just have radial forces, again you can see that by just doing this difficult with the transfer from it. Or if you're doing online and Japanese or anything local character recognition, there's actually a stroke order. You draw the various strokes, and so that's why the handling the characters online things would be a little bit easier. Right. What up? Medical diagnosis as well, like all the doctor gets out. A couple of very useful things you may want to do. So first of all, you want to do some very specific. So you want to avoid being in that case we have those states that are just misfit. So three processing starts to have maybe 0 being with the variance fixed scale of terms. In some cases you can probably see it wrong. Let me show you what that is. And so this is a useful thing that you can apply for a one. Right? Let's say I have some equation and I have to do it. And that's the all of it. So things like fluid, I can and there's start at 0 somewhere here. And then what I can do is I can basically perform the inverse mapping. I basically have x. And this is the fourth line. Fine. So I think what this will do is it will basically switch things out where I have to be hiding. It's partially where this in some cases can help. It doesn't guarantee that it will help you, but you should probably look at it. I'm saying that also because optimize the effort of that and having they basically perform this kind of zebra thing first, and then they do other interesting things today. So it's one of those things you probably try. The other thing you should do anyway for real data, you should actually look at those good here's the problem. It's just, check what they look like. So before you, in Angular, throw any algorithm data, check that you don't have variables, you want to check what the range of those values are, you want to check whether you have important to have something. But it's basically visually inspect the data with some very low techniques before you start using an algorithm. Almost certainly by doing this very different thing, the algorithm absolutely works alone. I know that Python is a way of what I'm telling you now about machine learning, but to some extent, when you actually solve this problem, you have to do some engineering. And that engineering means finding out about the problem. You're trying to solve this problem, just saying, hey, I have a general purpose algorithm. It will work for everything everywhere. You'd be very worried if somebody tells you they have a perfect algorithm for everything. They don't. They probably have a very flexible algorithm that is fairly smart somewhere under the hood, but don't believe them if they tell you solve every problem without any need. That part is connected. Okay. Now that you have this, well, we can do the Perceptron feature, right? So it looks exactly the same way as we did before, except that now, when we have an API, we have file pictures. So the only two lines that we change are those. And then, you can check with a W those file pick line. As for I said before, the weight vector is now linear connection initializing a classifier while the linear connection. Any questions? Right, so this is correct. But that's a problem. right? I mean, need a domain expert, and they can be expensive, so can we at least make it cheaper than finding it? Those feature maps can be expensive to produce. You need all this engineering knowledge to add. I mean, it's somewhat useful as it is for them to study the problem at hand, but if you don't have time, how do you do the least worst thing, right? Well, one solution is to just use a lot of features, and then hope that, you know, the good ones are among them, and then you need to design an algorithm that finds it. Just brings us. So, he's one of the main early around Drake Lava. There are the other people alongside contributed with. But anyway, yep, solving makes it different. In 2 dimensions, you can do it. In 3 dimensions, trivial because we map it to one x, one x, and then easy solving. Let's look at Quadratic Feature. So, what we have is the file x, I can map it to x1 square to x1 x2 and x2. A square 2 is there to x2. So I can take the inner product. And lo and behold, what I get is that I get the inner product of the original data square. So in other words, I never really have to compute those features explicitly in order to compute an inner product in that feature. Which is quite awesome. Well, that's what my idea to have features before and have features afterwards. But as soon as you go to higher dimensions and higher degree polynomials, this is actually quite a so you can do that. So I have like and made a equation. So the rate of the blue one is now applying the gap using separable and then alpha hyperplane. Lo and behold, we separate the data. Isn't that awesome? So this guy did a great job. So, no, that makes us a movie, but let's see what we can at least look at the map. So, as the extraction of features can be costly and all the features without dimensions. Well, actually, 45,000. Hypo. So I would have put on this first maybe 2 atoms. Now, the point is, you don't really want to do this physically, but and these work. So, what more specifically happens is that let's say that here, and then also it follows that you will work with possible. And we will and now this operation is order. Whereas this operation here is order. That makes it very Turns out that we can do that for higher order atoms as well, so it's okay. Fine. Right, R-E. And before, this basically now corresponds and the other place to make it that. This is quite round of R. And so same equation as before. The only difference really now is that wherever we had phi of xi, we now have k of xi. That's the only thing that has changed. But in doing so, you need something that always makes us large, not just different. This brings us to the answer of the question of before. And the only other thing that now happens is that we have an x, which was the sum over all the errors yi, y of xi, that's half x. Now I get sum over yi, k of xi. The good thing is that everything with these features is just sum of them. The first example is the matter of fact, this idea more or less had been around by Eisenhower Krauss and Gordon in 1958 something. And it just sat there until 1990. In other words, this solution sat there for almost 25 years. Where any PhD student could have come along, seen this thing, and said, hey, here's a useful algorithm. And he would have been able to look up the thing. And it's not that it's conceptually that hard. It's just that nobody saw it. Basically, what this tells you is go out and look for such things. If you hit the font one, yeah, basically that's it. I've seen that happen so many cases, so many times now. The machine learning is also in other areas. But sometimes very simple to solve. If you just know about the to make things more bizarre, a follow-up paper from 1992 was written by a guy who was sharing the same lab as the So he knew this result. So, sometimes it can take a very long time until you actually understand what it is. The other thing is like an output and product, you can basically tell that that point of view. But ultimately, that's what we're doing. Sometimes the really obvious things are obvious. Okay. So, polynomial kernels is like right? Well, any other you can go through will work. Now let's say I want to have not just continuous polynomial D. Then what you can do is you can just multiply some expansion like x of x prime plus d raised to the power. Now let's see whether this is actually right. Well, this is just what you get. Now it's right. You get some non-negative effects. You get some in the product there and you get some other. And we're implicitly going to use a couple of properties of the kernel. Namely that if I have two kernels and I add them together, I get another kernel. In this case we're summing over, m plus 1 different kernels. And if you believe me, that this guy here is a kernel, you'll see that summing over these kernels will give me a kernel. So it just proves that everything is a kernel. Let's actually look at that. Let's say I have some kernel K1 of x and x1, which is given by the inner product Y1. Okay. Y2. You have to run 2. It's the same. So, now K1 plus K2. I'm claiming that this is what we run. I can show you that phi is approximately going to file bit is a concatenation of Y1 of X with Y2. In this case, the inner product between file bit and file bit prime is of course nothing else but the inner product between the segment Y1 and Y2 dot Y1 prime Y2 prime. And that is nothing else but A1 plus Here we have it. And then, yeah, I just exploit this quite nonlinear relating one term. So that's really the only thing. Then we already have the first simple rule for how to make one kernel out of it. The other thing is multiply with the scale. And it looks. So any positive combination kernel. So this is why sometimes waiting for a kernel called a complex help. So kernels are good if you can actually visually not product some different. Great. Let's sum up. Thank you. The other question. Thanks. Okay, very good. Any other questions? Thanks. This is really good. I need to make those questions anyway. One thing that, of course, is quite desirable that we have is useful people. Quite often. A really simple thing to take, for example, the kernel is that K of X prime is K of X prime. And so it brings us to the last question, namely, is if a kernel they always A dot feature space and how to find it, what is something. And the definite answer to all of this is by Mercer in 1908. 100 years ago. It basically is called. So for any symmetric function A, which is weight function, and which also has the property that with some interval here is great equal for all functions. They exist eigenfunctions and eigenvalues such that K of X is prime can be written as sum of the lambda I, phi I, phi I. So now if you never had an analysis state, you bring it in. It's good. Because all this is just a continuous version of the matrix vector, of a vector by vector multiplication, right? So all we're doing here So this is nothing else than alpha times a alpha. And supposing that this peak rate equal to 0, well, that just means all the eigenvalues have to be greater than 0. And so we know, therefore, that I can write K as 2 transpose the sequencing going down. And you are in other words, the growth of the zero. What we have over there is just the unrealistic equivalent. These are like equivalent eigenvectors. These are the eigenvalues. This is like H. Any questions about it? It's probably the single chance part. So for an arbitrary partition, so okay, so very good question actually. So the question is, can we always find a kernel that solves the problem? You can, excluding extremely pathological situations, always find a kernel that will solve the problem on the training system. That is easy. However, you can be almost certain that for almost any interesting problem, there is no kernel that solves the problem on the system. Because almost certainly will you have situations where the base optimal error will be greater than 0. Maybe you don't know all the photos. So let's take a very simple thing, right? We're all good at looking at photos and rate them. We probably all play Pokemon at some point. At least we all think that, well, we can easily tell women and men apart, right? Aren't we all great? Well, usually we are, but there are some borderline cases where it's really, really hard. And those are then sometimes those really embarrassing moments in life when you're not quite sure. And yeah, so this is one of those cases where the best feature processing will probably not help you enough because you just don't have all the features to make that decision. So this is a case where no kernel in the world is helpful. Question? Elsewhere, it just means weight. So that's the equivalent of the Euclidean norm for finite division. So, how many of you are surprised by the math on this slide? I want an honest answer because if there are a lot of arms going up, we'll have a recitation on this. If very few arms go up, we'll have a recitation on others, right? Okay. Yes? You're not scared. Okay. So, I think we need a recitation on that. Good. Thanks for your honesty. I was scared of it too, so my guess is we won't have time to look at the properties and all those things right now because we're basically out of time to let you over today. If you have any questions, ask them now, or come tomorrow to the office hours, or save them until the meeting group, either the news group, or save them until any questions? Okay. Would you please look at the camera?